For this question, you have a particle moves in a straight line so that its displacement is given as equals to 2t plus 2 cosine of 2t. So now you have to find the initial position of the particle. It shows that this particle doesn't start from s equals to 0. So normally most of the question that we see is when t is equals to 0, s is equals to 0. Okay, so in this case, it says that initial position of the particle. So initial refers to t equals to 0. So now we intended to find the value of s. Okay, what is the displacement of it when t is equals to 0? So substitute t equals to 0 in your equation of s, plus with 2 cosine of 2 times with 0. Hence, this part you're getting 0. So cosine of 0 will give you 1. So hence this is 2. So which means that the object actually, when t is equals to 0, it is at a displacement of 2 units, okay, to the right. So this is the initial position of the object from the origin. Continue to look for the expression for velocity and also acceleration. Okay, so what you need to do is to find velocity. Okay, it is equivalent to ds over dt. So differentiate this equation where you will get 2 plus with 2 times with negative sine of 2t, okay, multiply with 2. Okay, this 2 refers to the derivative of 2t here. Okay, so continue. You will be getting 2 minus 4 sine of 2t. So that's the expression for velocity. Moving forward, you have to look for the acceleration expression. So we know that acceleration is equivalent to derivative of velocity. So hence, differentiate velocity equation where you will get, okay, differentiate 2, you will get 0. So minus 4, differentiate sine will give you cosine of 2t, multiply with the derivative of 2t, which will give you 2. So simplify, you will be getting negative 8 cosine of 2t. So you have got the expression for velocity and acceleration. For part C, you have to find the time when the particle actually comes to rest. Okay, rest here refers to when velocity is equivalent to 0. So if we solve this part first, we have this expression for velocity from part B. So now we are letting 2 minus 4 sine of 2t equivalent to 0. Okay, solve this trigonometry equation. You will be getting 4 sine of 2t equals to 2. Okay, you move 2 to the other side and cancel off the negative sign. So hence sine of 2t will be equivalent to 2 over 4, which will give you 1 over 2. Okay, look for the basic angle. You can press calculator, shift sine of 1 over 2. Okay, shift sine of 1 over 2 are giving you pi over 6, okay, which is 30 degrees. So hence, okay, your 2t will be equivalent to pi over 6. T will be equals to pi over 12. The next part of the question is asking to find the distance from O at this instant. So you already have the t value, so all you need to do is substitute the t value in the equation of s. Okay, so when s is equivalent to, okay, now we have s is equivalent to 2t plus with 2 cosine of 2t. So when t is equals to pi over 12, 2 times with pi over 12 plus with 2 cosine of 2 multiplied with pi over 12. Okay, so continue. This will give you pi over 6 plus with 2 cosine of pi over 6. Putting all the values in calculator or without using calculator, actually you can get the answer as pi over 6 plus with 2. Cosine of pi over 6 will give you sec 3 over 2. Hence, simplify this, you will get pi over 6 plus with sec 3. Okay, that is your answer in exact form. However, you can key all the values in the calculator and you should be able to get 2.26 in 3 significant figures, which is also a correct answer. Okay? So for the last part of the question, you have to find the time when the acceleration of the particle is equals to 0. Okay? So from the part B, we already have A equivalents to negative 8 cosine of 2t. So now making use of this, let negative 8 cosine of 2t equivalents to 0. And hence you will get cosine of 2t equals to 0 as well. Okay, so when cosine of 2t equivalents to 0, 2t, the first angle, okay, will be pi over 2. Okay, so this can be found actually by using the cosine graph, where when it is 0 means this point and this point, and this point is where it happened at pi over 2. Okay, so solving it, t will be equals to pi over 4. Okay, continue with this part of the question, asking you to find the distance from O. Okay, when t is equals to pi over 4. From the question, we know that s is equals to 2t plus with 2 cosine of 2t. So all we need to do is to substitute the value of t in the equation. So 2 times with pi over 4 plus with 2 cosine of 2 times pi over 4. Simplifying, you will get pi over 2 here plus with 2 cosine of pi over 2. Okay, as mentioned just now, okay, cosine of pi over 2 will give you 0. Hence, your final answer will be equivalent to pi over 2.